Okay, I have to be honest with you. When I think of the phrase local recreational sports league, my mind usually goes to a very specific, somewhat dramatic place.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
I'm thinking of like a Wednesday night in a drafty high school gymnasium.
Hmm.
The lighting is that buzzing yellow sodium vapor stuff that just makes everyone look slightly sickly.
You can smell the floor wax and like decades of sweat.
Yes. And the floor is always inexplicably dusty, so you're just sliding around like you're on ice skates.
For sure. Every quick stop is a gamble.
It is. And over at the scorer's table, there's always a guy, let's just call him Dave, who is frantically trying to figure out if that last basket was a two-pointer or a three-pointer.
And he's using a crumpled piece of paper and a pencil that's been sharpened like 50 times.
A dull pencil. And the three-point line is faded, so it's really just a matter of opinion at that point.
That is the nostalgia play for sure. You can practically smell the icy hot and the old gym socks in that description. It's the classic Wild West of amateur sports.
Exactly. It's low stakes, it's low tech, and honestly, it's usually low on organization.
Yeah.
It's charming in a gritty way, but it's a mess.
A beautiful mess, but a mess nonetheless.
But then you handed me this stack of documents for today's deep dive, and I feel like I've been transported into a completely different dimension. We're looking at the Basketball Association Legacy League, or B.A.L.L., and specifically their updates leading up to Season 2, which kicks off around Valentine's Day 2026.
Right.
And I have to say, looking at these papers, this does not look like a rec league run by Dave with the pencil. This looks like a media empire in a starter kit.
That is precisely why we are talking about it today. What we are witnessing here and what these documents outline in, pretty granular detail is the emergence of what I like to call amateur sports 2.0.
Amateur Sports 2.0. Okay, that's a bold title. Let's unpack that before we get into the weeds. What does that actually mean?
So it's this idea that the barrier to entry for professionalism, and I'm using air quotes there, has completely collapsed.
Yeah.
You used to need a TV contract to have a broadcast. You used to need a massive marketing department to have a brand. You used to need like a Nike deal to have custom merchandise.
Right, you needed millions of dollars and a whole infrastructure.
And you certainly needed an NBA front office to have advanced analytics. But today, the B.A.L.L. sources we have here, we've got sponsorship decks, press releases about AI partnerships, legal retainers, jersey reveals. They paint a picture of a local league that is operating with the sophistication of a Fortune 500 company.
It really is wild.
They are using the same tools the pros use, but they're scaled for the community level.
It's incredible. We've got sponsorship tiers that talk about AI-powered lead generation, which sounds like something from a tech conference, not a basketball court.
We'll definitely have to get into that.
Oh, yeah. We have a 35 and over expansion league that has a strict, almost controversial height limit, which I have questions, big questions.
As you should.
And we have a jersey reveal that reads like a Fashion Week press release. It's on another level.
It is a fascinating case study in community building. So our mission today is to sift through all of this, the business model, the technology stack, the visual identity, and, the competitive drama, to understand how a local organization is completely redefining what it means to play for the love of the game.
Let's start with the business side, because this is where my jaw hit the floor. We have a document here titled Season 2 Sponsorship Tiers.
Okay.
Now, usually, when a local league asks for money, it's a charity ask. It's, hey, Mr. Pizza Shop owner, give us $50 and we'll put your name on the back of a T-shirt.
A T-shirt that someone will probably use to wash their car in 3 months.
Exactly. That's the model.
Right. The old model was essentially a donation. You supported the league because your nephew was playing or because you just wanted to be seen as a good neighbor. There was no expectation of a return on investment.
No ROI. It was a write-off.
A write-off and a handshake.
But this is not a donation. It's aggressive.
It is. This is an investment vehicle. And I think you have to look at the language they are using in the deck. They aren't selling goodwill.
Right.
They are selling marketing funnels. They are selling lead generation.
Yeah, let's break these tiers down because the pricing structure itself tells a story. They have 3 levels. The entry level is the community sponsor for $500.
Which is accessible. That is your typical local business entry point, right?
Totally. That feels right. But even there, look at what you get. Digital scoreboard placement.
Stop right there. A digital scoreboard. That tells you something immediately.
It tells me we're not using the old plastic flip cards.
We have left Dave in the dust. It means they have screens in the gym. There's tech from the jump.
And social media posts for 8 weeks. They are treating the sponsor's logo as content, not just a one-off decoration. They're promising a sustained campaign.
A campaign, yeah. Not just a single thank you post that gets buried in the feed 2 hours later. They're promising 8 weeks of visibility.
But then you jump to the pro exposure tier at $1,200. And this is where it gets really interesting to me.
This is their most popular tier, according to the document.
And I can see why. It says this includes a custom 30 to 60-second promo video and a YouTube Spotlight interview.
Okay, think about the economics of that for a second. If you are a local business, let's say a chiropractor or a local eatery, and you want to hire a video production crew to shoot a high-quality commercial for you.
Oh, man.
You need a camera operator, sound, lighting, editing, color grading. What would that cost you on the open market?
Oh, easily $1,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 if you want it to look actually professional and not like your cousin shot it on his iPhone.
Exactly. So for $1,200, the league is effectively acting as your advertising agency.
That's it.
They are bundling the production value, you pay the sponsorship fee, and you walk away with a tangible digital asset, a commercial that you can use on your own website, your own Instagram, wherever. That is a massive value proposition.
It's huge.
Yeah.
You're not just getting exposure on their channel, you're getting content for your channel.
And speaking of their channel, you have to look at the audience numbers they're touting.
I saw that. The document highlights 16,000 plus YouTube views.
Now, in the context of the global internet, okay, 16,000 views isn't, Mr. Beast numbers. It's not viral.
Not viral.
But in the context of a local community, that is massive.
It's incredibly targeted.
It is. If you are a local dentist, you don't need 1 million people in India to see your ad. You need 5,000 people within a 5-mile radius of your office.
Right.
B.A.L.L. is offering a hyper-targeted, engaged local audience.
Right. These aren't just random views. These are people in the community, players, families, friends, potential customers.
Exactly. They're qualified leads, basically.
But the real kicker,
yeah,
the real, wow moment for me is the founding partner tier. This is the premium package listed at $2,000.
And they note a regular price of $3,000, so they're creating urgency.
Of course. The early adopter pricing. Classic sales tactic.
It's smart.
It works. But look at the deliverables. MVP presented by segments. Okay, that's pretty standard. Logo placement in all game uploads. That's big.
Very big. Constant reinforcement.
But the phrase that stood out to me, and I literally circled this in red ink, was AI-powered lead generation.
Yes. That is the phrase that stops you in your tracks, isn't it?
It does. What does a recreational basketball league know about AI lead gen? That sounds incredibly sophisticated.
Well, according to the source, this isn't just a buzzword they're throwing around. This involves voice assistants, dedicated landing pages, QR codes, and email automation. They aren't just putting a banner up in the gym.
No, this is digital infrastructure.
It is. They are building a system.
So walk me through the user journey here. How does this actually work in practice?
Okay, so imagine you're watching the live stream or even a highlight clip on your phone later that night.
Right.
You see the play of the game presented by, I don't know, Joe's Pizza.
Yeah.
And there's a QR code overlay on the video. You scan it, maybe to enter a contest for a free pizza or get a 10% discount code. The moment you scan it, that captures your data.
Ah, okay. I see.
The AI might then automate a follow-up email, or it could categorize you based on your interest. It's about closing the loop between seeing the ad and taking an action.
So if I'm the sponsor, I'm not just hoping someone sees my banner in the background of a blurry photo and remembers my business name.
No.
The league is actively using tech to funnel people directly to my business.
Precisely. They are promising real ROI tracking with end-of-season analytics.
That's the game changer.
It is. It moves the conversation from, can you help us buy uniforms, to, here's how we can grow your customer base by 15% this quarter. It turns the league into a business partner.
It completely reframes the whole relationship. It creates a transactional professional dynamic. And it makes me wonder, who are the businesses that are signing up for this?
That's a great question.
Because we have a few press releases here announcing the new sponsors for Season 2, and it is an eclectic mix.
It is, but if you look closely, there is a distinct theme emerging. They aren't just picking random businesses that wrote a check. They seem to be building an ecosystem.
An ecosystem.
Yeah, a life cycle ecosystem around the player.
Okay, let's unpack that. First up, we have a press release from February 12th welcoming the law offices of Marlon B. Baldomero.
Based in Long Beach.
Right. And this isn't just a sports lawyer or something simple like that. The document says they handle Business litigation, criminal defense, family law, immigration. I mean, basically everything.
It's a full-service firm, and I think this partnership signals a maturity for the league.
How so?
Well, when you bring in a law firm that handles family law and immigration, you are acknowledging that your players are adults with real-world responsibilities. They aren't just kids looking for a pickup game.
Right. These are people with lives, with families, with jobs.
They are business owners who might need help with incorporation. They are fathers who might be navigating a divorce. They are community members dealing with complex immigration issues for their relatives.
It positions the league as a real community hub, right? Like, oh, you have a problem. Don't just Google it. Talk to our partner, our sponsor.
Exactly. It integrates the league into the fabric of their lives. It's not just about what happens on the court. It's about supporting the whole person off the court.
Which is a theme that continues, because the next sponsor mentioned in that same release is the Innovative Physical Therapy Institute, or IPTI.
Led by Dr. Carlos Pineda III.
Now, this one makes a lot of sense for a basketball league. Everybody's got a bad knee, a twisted ankle, or a sore back. This is a given.
True, but again, you have to look at the model they describe. It's not just a clinic you drive to and sit in a waiting room for an hour reading an old magazine.
No.
They describe a concierge model. The tagline is, expert physical therapy delivered to you, home, gym, or office.
That is huge. We come to you. That's a premium service.
And they make a point to emphasize, no aides, 1.1 clinician delivery.
I saw that. That's a direct shot at the insurance mill model, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you see the actual doctor for 5 minutes and then an assistant who looks about 19 years old watches you do stretches.
Right. It screams premium. It says, you get our full, undivided attention. But now, connect it back to the tech theme we saw in the sponsorship deck.
Let me guess. There's an app.
There's an app. IPTI is developing an AI-powered app for appointments and exercises.
Everything is AI with these guys. It's unbelievable.
It is the thread that ties it all together. The league uses AI for marketing. The medical sponsor uses AI for treatment tracking. It creates this synergy.
It makes sense. The sponsor fits the tech-forward brand identity of the league itself.
Exactly. If IPTI was just a dusty old clinic with a fax machine and a landline, they wouldn't fit the B.A.L.L. aesthetic. It wouldn't feel right.
And then, on February 13th, the day before the season updates, they announced 2 more sponsors. And one of them really surprised me.
Which one?
Infinity and Beyond Home Care.
Owned by Christina Sandiego.
Yeah. This is non-medical in-home care for seniors. Their mission is, your family is our family. Now help me out here. Why is a senior care service sponsoring a basketball league where the guys are presumably in their 20s and 30s?
This is the smartest sponsorship on the list, in my opinion. It's brilliant.
Really? Why?
Think about the demographic again. These players are, let's say, 25 to 45. A lot of them are what we call the sandwich generation.
Ah, right. Sandwiched between raising their own kids and starting to take care of their aging parents.
Exactly. These players are likely the decision makers, or at least involved in the decisions for their aging parents' care.
So the ad isn't for them, it's for their mom or dad.
It's for their peace of mind. By sponsoring the league, Infinity and Beyond is bypassing the traditional advertising routes, newspaper ads or daytime TV commercials, and going straight to the people who are likely beginning to worry about mom and dad living alone.
That is so smart. It broadens the demographic appeal of the league from just the player to the entire family unit.
It validates the legacy part of the league's name, doesn't it? It's about the whole life cycle. You have the player on the court, you have the legal protection for their business, the physical therapy for their injuries, and now the care for their aging parents.
It's a holistic community ecosystem. Womb to tomb, almost.
It's getting there.
And speaking of the player on the court, we have to talk about the other sponsor announced on the 13th, because this brings us right back to that Moneyball vibe we were talking about.
The tech.
The tech. We've got a partnership with Sports Visio.
This is the piece of the puzzle that makes the whole Amateur Sports 2.0 concept real. This is the engine under the hood.
The document calls them the official AI stats and highlights provider. Now, for you listening who might not be a tech nerd, explain what AI stats actually looks like. How does this work?
So in the past, if you wanted stats for a local league, you had our friend Dave at the scorers table with his pencil scratching tally marks.
Right, and maybe he misses a rebound because he's eating a sandwich.
Maybe he gives his friend an extra assist because he wants him to look good. It was subjective, and it was so prone to error.
And nobody ever trusts the scorebook. I definitely had 20 points, not 18. That's the classic post-game argument in every parking lot.
Precisely. Sports Physio changes that completely. They use computer vision. Essentially, you set up a camera, it can even be a phone on a tripod, and it watches the game. The AI understands the geometry of the court.
So it knows where the three-point line is, where the paint is.
Exactly. It tracks the ball and the players. It knows what a shot looks like. It knows what a rebound looks like. It can tell the difference between a steal and just a loose ball. The source claims 95% accuracy on points, rebounds, turnovers, the whole box score.
That is incredible. So the camera just watches the game, understands what it's seeing, and updates the stats automatically. No Dave required.
No Dave required. It brings objective truth to the game. But the stats are just the data. That's cool for the players, but the real viral factor here, the thing that makes the sponsorship model work, is the automated highlight reels.
Oh, tell me about that. This is the part that sounds like magic.
It's close.
Yeah.
The AI identifies the big plays. It knows when the crowd cheers or when a basket is made. It can recognize a dunk or a block. It clips those moments.
Okay.
And then it generates a personalized highlight reel for every single player.
Wait. Every player, not just the stars, not just the MVP.
Every single player. So if you are the 8th man on the bench and you play 3 minutes, but you hit one nice corner three, the AI finds that clip and sends it to you.
That's amazing. And what do you do with that clip?
What's the first thing you do? You post it on Instagram.
Immediately. You post it on TikTok. You send it to your mom. You put it in the family group chat to prove you can still play.
You do. And every time you share that clip, what is plastered all over the video as an overlay?
The sponsor logos, the founding partners we talked about earlier.
Exactly. This is the flywheel. This is the whole engine.
Yeah.
The AI gamifies the experience for the players, giving them vanity content to share. That sharing drives the views, the 16,000 plus views. The views drive the value for the sponsors.
It is a self-sustaining loop. The players become the distribution network for the ads.
And they are happy to do it because it makes them look like LeBron James.
That is brilliant. It turns the players into a marketing army without them even realizing it. They just think they look cool.
Which brings us to the other side of looking cool, the merchandise. We have a source here regarding AF Court Culture.
Owned by Alvin Feliciano.
Correct. They've been named the official jersey and sports merchandise provider for the league. And the language here is really interesting.
What stands out to you?
They talk about moving away from generic gear to a custom lifestyle brand.
Court culture. I saw that phrase. It implies it's something you wear off the court, too. It's not just a uniform.
It's the merchification of everything. You see this in music with influencers and now in local sports. It's not a uniform. It's a drop. It's a limited release. It's streetwear.
Well, speaking of the drop, we have to discuss the jersey reveal. Because the descriptions in this Season 2 away jersey reveal document are vivid. They are not subtle.
Not at all. And they make a point to credit the designer, Ludi.
Which, again, adds that layer of professional respect. It's not just ordered from a catalog. It's designed by Louis.
It gives it an air of artistry.
So the concept is a unified aesthetic. All the away jerseys are black with a specific geometric pattern. It looks like arrows or chevrons, and this red and white accent striping on the collar and arms.
Right.
Why do you think they'd go for a unified look instead of letting every team go crazy with their own colors and designs?
I think it's incredibly smart branding. When you see a highlight clip on social media, one of those sports Vizio clips, even if you don't know the specific teams playing, that uniform template tells you immediately, this is B.A.L.L.
Ah, it builds brand recognition for the league itself.
Exactly. It makes it look like a cohesive, professional franchise system, not just a random assortment of pickup teams.
But the team logos are where the personality just explodes. We have to go through a few of these. I want to know which one speaks to you the most.
Okay, let's analyze the fashion. Let's do it.
First up, Royale. The description says, crown skull, red eyes, blue lightning. And the vibe is listed as Gothic Regal.
That is very intense. That sounds like a heavy metal album cover from the 80s or a biker gang patch. It says, "We aren't here to have fun. We are here to intimidate you."
Totally. Then, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have BBQ Chicken.
Laughs. I love that name so much. It's so good.
The logo is a fiery rooster with flames.
Oh.
It's playful. It's bold. It's basically saying, we're going to cook you on the court.
That is classic basketball trash talk turned into a brand identity. Your BBQ chicken out there means you're easy food. I can score on you whenever I want. It's a great example of knowing your audience.
It's perfect. It's an inside joke for basketball players. Then there's Beats by Buffaloes.
A buffalo wearing red headphones.
It's modern, it's cultural, it feels very current, almost like a music collab or a brand partnership.
It feels very LA.
It does. Then you have the Raptors, described as a metallic rock-inspired word mark. So that's edgy. And Haraya, which features a golden eagle, that sounds a bit more distinguished, maybe a bit more noble and classic.
Right, a more traditional sports logo feel.
And then there was one more description that caught my eye.
Mamba.
Ah, yes. The coiled golden snake.
Intimidating presence. Gold and dark tones. It sounds awesome. A classic Kobe Bryant homage. But here is where the plot thickens.
The plot twist.
We have a press release dated February 14th, Valentine's Day, of all days titled, ECH Basketball Replaces Mamba.
Just days before the season starts, that's a bombshell.
Drama. The document says Mamba has withdrawn from the league.
Which is an absolute nightmare for a league commissioner. Think about the logistics. You have the schedule set, you have the court time booked, you have merchandise orders in.
You have the jerseys designed. We just read the description of their awesome jersey that will now never be worn.
It's a collector's item that doesn't exist. A phantom jersey?
It is. But look at how the league handled it. In a poorly run league, a team dropping out 2 weeks before tip-off could collapse the whole season. You end up with bye weeks, forfeited games, and angry players who paid their fees.
It would be chaos here. It's a calm, professional press release.
It shows that B.A.L.L. apparently has a deep bench because they immediately announced a replacement team.
ECH Basketball, led by Captain Nico Arias.
And notice the seamlessness of the transition. The press release emphasizes that ECH inherits their schedule and conference slot. No disruption to anyone else.
That's the key.
It shows they have a waiting list. That is a massive signal of organizational health. If people are lining up to get in, you have a valuable product.
But talk about irony. ECH is stepping in, but the Mamba jerseys were already revealed in the design document. I wonder what they're going to wear for the first few games.
That is a great question. Maybe a rush order for AF court culture? Or maybe they play in practice jerseys for a week. But this speaks to the resilience of the league. Next man up applies to the teams, not just the players on the court.
And speaking of ECH basketball, they seem confident. There's a quote here, "Hungry squad looking to make an immediate impact."
Of course. It adds a storyline to the season before it even begins. You have the replacement team. Are they the underdogs? Are they the spoilers? It gives the fans and the other teams something to talk about.
Now, we've talked a lot about the marketing, the gloss, the logos, and the drama. But here's the big question. Is the basketball actually any good?
That is the ultimate test, right?
It is. Because you can have great Instagram filters and terrible jump shots.
That's true. You can't market your way out of a bad product. If the game is sloppy and unwatchable, people will stop watching no matter how cool the jerseys are.
So do we have any proof that these guys can actually play?
We do. We have a source here that validates the talent level.
The Phil-Am Sports Fest 2026 results.
Dated January 31st, so this was just a couple of weeks ago. It was a tournament held in Cerritos, and the theme was Road to LA 28 Olympics.
Okay, so this was a serious event. This wasn't just a local weekend run. This was a showcase with a purpose.
Exactly. And a team representing B.A.L.L. went to compete.
And how did our B.A.L.L. representatives do?
They took second place.
That's impressive. That's really impressive.
It is. It proves that this isn't just a content farm. These guys can actually play. They went outside their own ecosystem, competed against other organizations in a high-stakes tournament, and came home with hardware.
I think that external validation is crucial, isn't it? It tells the sponsors, hey, you're not just sponsoring a random local rec league, you're sponsoring a legitimate competitive force in the region.
Exactly. It adds prestige. It proves the pro in pro exposure isn't just false advertising. The on-court product backs up the marketing hype.
Okay, so we have the main league. Season 2 is gearing up with some last-minute drama. But there is one more document in our stack that points to the future. And for some of our listeners, and maybe for us, this might be the most exciting part.
Or the most controversial.
Or the most controversial, yeah. The expansion.
The OG Hoops League.
The dawn of the OG Hoops League. A press release from February 10th.
And this is a collaboration between B.A.L.L., represented by Francis San Diego, and T.B.L., represented by Tope Saavedra.
And T.B.L., the basketball league, has been around since 2018. So you are combining the fresh, tech-savvy approach of B.A.L.L. with the established history and network of TBL.
It's a very smart strategic partnership. You're not starting from scratch.
But the target demographic is what gets me. 35-plus years old.
The OGs.
Finally, a league for the guys who have to ice their knees before the game, not just after.
And during, and after, and the next morning.
But look at how they frame it. They aren't calling it a senior league or an old man's league. They call it a league for serious competitors.
Legacy basketball.
Yes. They explicitly state this isn't nostalgia basketball. They're addressing a real problem in adult sports, you know.
I do.
Usually, as you get older, the organized leagues disappear. You're left with those chaotic pickup games at 24-Hour Fitness where nobody plays defense, there are no refs, and there's always one guy trying to fight everyone.
Or you try to play in the young guys league and you just get run off the court by 20-year-olds who have infinite energy and can jump out of the gym. It can be discouraging.
Exactly. So they are creating a structured environment. Official stats, media presence, strict rules. But there is one rule in particular that we absolutely need to discuss. I have been waiting this whole time to ask you about this.
I know exactly which one you mean. The height limit.
Maximum height of 6'2" per team roster.
It's bold. It's a statement.
Bold. It feels discriminatory. A height limit. In basketball, isn't being tall like the entire point of the sport?
Usually, yes. But you have to think about the specific dynamics of 35 and over basketball.
Okay, let's unpack it. Lay out the argument for me. Why cap it at 6'2"?
Well, at the amateur level, especially as players age and lose some of their athleticism, their vertical leap, their lateral quickness height becomes an overwhelming advantage. If one team has a 6'8" guy who played a little college ball and the other team's tallest player is 6'1", the game is effectively over before it starts.
Because he just stands in the paint and shoots over everyone.
He doesn't even have to shoot. He sits in the paint, grabs every single rebound without jumping, and just lays it in. The other team can't stop him without fouling him on every possession. It completely breaks the competitive balance.
It turns the game into just feed the big guy, and everyone else stands around.
Right. It's not fun for anyone except the big guy. So by removing that overwhelming vertical dominance, you force the game to be played on the ground. You emphasize other skills.
Passing, shooting, spacing, basketball IQ.
It becomes a guards game. It becomes more about strategy and skill rather than just genetic advantage.
It levels the playing field. It implies that this league is about skill, not just about who won the genetic lottery.
And honestly, it's probably safer, too. Less giant bodies colliding in the lane, less elbows to the face for the smaller guys trying to get a rebound. But mostly, I think it's about creating a specific, entertaining style of play. Fast, skilled, strategic.
It's like a spec series in auto racing, where everyone has the same engine, so the best driver wins, not the person with the most expensive car.
That's a perfect analogy. They are engineering the meta of the game to make it more fun and more competitive for their specific demographic.
It's fascinating. And they are limiting it to 8 teams to start, playing on Sundays at the MAP Sports Facility in Guard Grove.
And the MAP is a legendary spot in the Southern California basketball scene.
It is. So they are putting it in a premier venue. Again, it signals quality.
Yeah.
They aren't playing in a dusty high school gym. They are playing where the pros and top college players train.
Everything they do seems to be about signaling quality and professionalism.
So let's zoom out. We've covered a lot. We have the main league with its AI stats and flashy Gothic skull jerseys. We have the OG league for the veterans with its structured rules and tactical height limits. We have a sponsorship model that rivals a digital marketing agency with lead gen and funnels. And we have a community ecosystem covering everything from law to healthcare to senior care.
It is a comprehensive 360-degree package.
It really is. When you look at all these documents together, the sponsorship deck, the press releases, the jersey reveals, what is the big takeaway for you? What does this tell us about the future of sports at a community level?
I think it tells us that the definition of entertainment is shifting, especially locally.
How so? What do you mean by that?
Well, for a long time, if you wanted to watch real sports, you turned on the TV to watch the Lakers or the Clippers. Community sports were just something you did, not something you watched.
Right. You didn't care about the result unless you were playing or your kid was playing.
Exactly. Nobody buys a ticket to watch a random rec league game.
No.
But now, with the tools B.A.L.L is using sports Vizio for the automated highlights, professional branding from AF Court Culture, the narratives built through social media, they are making local sports consumable. They are turning it into a product that you might watch even if you don't know anyone playing.
It's becoming content.
It's becoming content.
Exactly. If I'm a basketball fan in Southern California, I might actually care about the ECH versus DBQ chicken matchup because I've seen the promo video, I know the stats from the AI, I've seen the fiery rooster logo, and I followed the storyline of the replacement team.
And frankly, it's more relatable, isn't it? These are people in your community. You might run into the point guard at the grocery store.
Or at the law offices of Marlon B. Baldomero.
Exactly. It connects all the dots. It's hyper-local, but it's presented with global-level production value.
And for the businesses, for the sponsors, it proves that you don't need to spend millions on national ads to get sophisticated marketing. You can partner with a local organizer like Francis San Diego and get AI-driven, trackable results.
It's democratizing the professional sports experience. It's doing it for the players who get to feel like pros with their stats and highlights, and for the sponsors who get pro-level data.
That's the key. It's about dignity.
Dignity. Yeah, giving the amateur game the dignity of professional treatment. Just because you aren't in the NBA doesn't mean your game doesn't matter. B.A.L.L. is basically saying, your game matters to you, so we are going to treat it with that same level of respect.
I love that. Giving the amateur game the dignity of professional treatment. That is a great way to put it.
It's exciting to watch. I'll be very curious to see how Season 2 plays out, especially with that last-minute roster shakeup.
Oh, I'm definitely tracking the ECH versus Mamba fallout. Or, well, Mamba's absence. And I want to see who wins that first OG Hoops championship.
My money is on the team with the best outside shooters, given that 6'2" Pret height limit.
Smart bet. If you can't get easy layups, you better be able to shoot the lights out. Well, we have covered a lot of ground today, from sponsorship tiers to Gothic skull logos to the physics of height limits in your late 30s.
It's been a journey.
It has. And for you listening, I hope this changes the way you look at that flyer on the bulletin board at your local gym. It might look like just another pickup league. But if you look closer, it might just be the start of a media empire.
Or at least a really, really well-organized Saturday afternoon.
True. One or the other. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay.
We talked about AI stats, automated highlights, easy streaming, and pro-level branding. If that technology keeps getting better and cheaper and more accessible, are we approaching a future where the line between amateur and pro entertainment becomes almost invisible to the digital viewer on a phone screen?
That is the question, isn't it? When you're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram Reels, a highlight is a highlight. Does it really matter if it's LeBron James in the NBA Finals or the point guard from BBQ Chicken in a local league championship?
If the skill is there and the video quality is there.
Maybe it doesn't matter at all. The algorithm will just show you great basketball.
Something to think about. Thanks for diving in with us.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.